So I'm just going to start with sowing. So these are the trays, sowing trays. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just sow a few seeds, just to kind of. So if you guys want to have a go, and what we need for this is seedless compost. Just kind of crumble it up like that. And normally you would do this from January until the end of May. And if you start in January, all the way up until May, you can actually get vegetables throughout the whole year. You would just draw a line like this, just far enough away from here, okay? Then you draw another one like that. And at this stage now, I know exactly what distance every plant, every vegetable needs, right? So you will actually learn that after time, you know. It just takes a bit of practice, and you soon find out as well, you know, that maybe you have put too big a plant into a too small a pot, or vice versa, you know. So, and then basically I just get my seeds, right? So and then I just put them in. And then I can just kind of very gently close it up again. Okay, and just very, very gently press it down so that the seed actually connects with the soil. And then we just water it. You would very gently sprinkle it on like that. I mean, so a nice, like a watering can with a fine kind of connection on it would be very good, you know, because a lot of the time actually the seeds do kind of pop up again. If you see one or two seeds popping up, you just stick them back down again. I just wanted to show you as well you can actually reuse these kind of things as pots as well. You don't actually have to go out to a garden centre and buy these things here. I mean, even though they're nice, but what you could do is you could just paint this. And for your pumpkin or your courgettes or tomato plants, all this, you know, you can put them into this, you know. So I just make a few holes, because the one thing you don't want is this to fill up with water. First put some kind of gravel or something like that, right? Or even like broken shards of old potteries or anything like that. That's just for the drainage, so that you don't end up blocking the holes. And also, never put your pot kind of flat onto concrete, because if this is flat and the concrete is flat, actually it creates this kind of vacuum and they can't actually drain freely. And this kind of just fills up with water then, you know.
What do you do then?
So what you do is you just get a little stick or something like that and just kind of put it underneath like that, or a little stone or something, like a slide like that, you know. So you have your gravel in there. So then the next step is, because this is going to be used for the same plant, I would actually go over here and I would get a bit of soil as well, because all plants really like soil. So, and it's also kind of less expensive as well, you know, so you can actually save a lot of money that way, you know. And then the next step is I would take some of my worm compost, right? So you have your worm compost. And with something this size, you only have to put a handful in like that. And it's where the roots are as well. And there's even a worm in there which will do a lot of good as well, you know. You would take the seed, and the seed is always flat. That's usually what it kind of looks like, right? The size is right anyway. You wouldn't put it down flat like that, because what happens is the water sits on top of the seed and it rots and it dies. So it will never happen. So you always put it in the same depth, so quite deep, but on its side like that. And then you just put a bit of soil on top. And then you just kind of very lightly water it then, you know. So a 50-50 mixture. And now this soil is seedless, so there's actually no weed seeds in it. And there's also no seeds in this as well. So who wants to have a go actually mixing it all up? So see these kind of clods as well, you want to kind of break them up as well. That's it, it's looking very good. Okay, so you just almost fill it to the top. So you wait now, 1 second. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's it. So next step, don't forget your worm compost.
Oh.
Very important. And then the next step is a compost like this one again. Right. Like that. And you can use it as a mulch then, you know. So now this actually has all the nutrients it needs for at least a year, if not longer, you know. And again, you just tease this out again, you know. Because this is what's known as pot bound. So the roots have nowhere to go. So you can keep the label there so you know what it is, in case you forget.
Once you feed it to your body.
And again, you would just bring the soil up to there. So just get more soil and crumble it up around it. Okay, now in order to get these out, what you usually do is you find an empty space like that. And then what you do is you go underneath it with your finger. See the way that pops up like that? So you know that there's no roots here yet. And there, see that's when you get a feel for it. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to damage too many roots. So you just get the whole lot and see there the roots. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you just make a little hole. And very gently you put it in. Now gentle is the key. And fill it up. All the little kind of dust particles of the soil will fill in the kind of the holes as well, you know. So we can just give that a good water as well like that, you know. Just around it like that.
Oh.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's okay because you want it actually to be, this was very dry, so you, for the first time you want to give it a lot of water. And see the way I'm keeping away from this, I just gave it a little bit first.